Yo, fam, what's good? What's good? How's everybody? Let's go. Well, I hope season 22 has been good for you. It's been absolutely fantastic for me so far. I'm loving the content, loving the new builds, and just the ability to be able to sort of change things up from last season. I'm absolutely loving some of these builds. They're really, really cool and unique and different. And look, shout out to the guys from my last Hunter video that I put out relating to the Mothman gloves. They said, hey, Seek, if you haven't, try it with the Strand subclass. It's cracked. And you're right, 100% it is. Like, I had this build fairly well done. I was happy with it. And then I used these gloves and I was like, you know what? I can't release that build because this is just feels better. I mean, these moths are phenomenal. You can throw them. They've got the void overshield potential. You've got the arc potential for blinding enemies as well. And, you know, if you've got no enemies around, throw it at the ground, you're going to get healing. You throw it at enemies, they're going to get blinded. Like, it's insane. And you get 3 of them. So, like, it's crazy. So you're always going to have a grenade up. But the best thing about this build that I'm in love with is these little tornadoes, the little Maelstrom Whirlwind aspect, mini Tangle tornadoes, whatever you want to call them, and the potential they have for the massive amounts of DPS that they can do, or the extra damage they can do from the aspects from the seasonal artifact. It's, you know, and a lot of people that have put this build out really haven't focused on those or that ability too much. But guys, if you like the content, make sure you hit a like, subscribe, put some comments in the chat. I do appreciate the love and support. But into the artifact we go because it's important. Arc Strand Siphon combo, 100% needed to make sure we've always got orbs on the field. Elemental Fury, while stunned, champions take bonus damage from your abilities and elemental orb damage. So just for hard content. Refreshing pickups, pick up a Tangle or elemental orb grants energy to your least powered ability. It's about 50%. Elemental munitions, combat, final blows with Tangles or elemental orbs have a chance to drop special and heavy. And then Frenzied Stacks. This is the big one. Your armor charges grant bonus damage to your thrown Tangles or elemental orbs. Your armor charge now decays over time. So it starts off at 1 stack at 10% AoE and 30% additional impact damage. And so all the way up to 60% and 180% extra damage from these just by running that aspect. It's crazy. Now, I didn't put on the Tangled mod because it interacts really funny, the one that generates Tangles. So that's the one here. But here's the AoE here. You'll see this on this next one. So times 6, and you're going to do 51k straight off the rip. And then you can see they're ticking away 2,434 damage per tick. Now, the base on those is 1522 and 18242. So huge amounts of extra damage, which is insane. So make sure you're sort of tailoring to it. This build, I go through both the non-DPS one and then the DPS one. Gambler's Dodge, you want to make sure you have, so you get that extra, when you dodge, you get the extra melee. Now, the melee gives you the ability to create a Tangle because you're severing the opponents, and every time you defeat a severed target, it creates a Tangle. So it's going to give you the chance to always have something to create a Tangle quickly. It doesn't matter about what grenade you run, and that's solely because someone pointed out in the video as well that the grenade cooldowns and the moth cooldowns are completely separate. Widow Silk is the one that gives you your additional grenade, so it's a must. And then here's the new one, Whirling Maelstrom. Destroying a Tangle will weave a violent, withering mass of strand fibers. Strand mass seeks out damage targets, emitting, unraveling, and that's huge, right? As I said, potential there is massive. Thread of Rebirth, Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create threadlings. So little threadlings will go out and seek out enemies, while you have Wovenmail, Weapon Final Blows, create a Tangle. So this one here is the big one. It will create a Tangle, right? Picking up an Orb of Power grants Wovenmail. So once again, to create a Tangle, you need that. To dealing damage generates grenade energy, threaded generation. So that's the reason why we're not running the aspect in the seasonal artifact, and that's because it's a chance, and the one in the fragments is a guarantee. So make sure you've got that on and not the other one. Arc Strand Siphon, as I said before, to create orbs. You've got Powerful Friends or Radiant Light, either or. You want to make sure your friends have it on too if you're running any team content, so you always got armor charges up. Ashes to Assets, I pretty much put this on every one of my builds. Gain bonus super energy on grenade kills. Like, you know, 100% you want to get your super all the time. That's why Intellect is just kind of just non-existent anymore. Mothkeeper wraps, obviously the Hunter exotic, we've been through them before. Grenade becomes a cage of loyal moths released on impact. And as I said, 1 arc, and then you've got the void one as well. If you've got no enemies around, you throw it on the ground, you get 2 void. And so it's going to give you a full overshield. Absolutely cracked. Amazing exotic. Simple, effective. You've got fast ball. That way then you can just throw your moths a little bit further. Grenade kickstart. Now this is one here, grenade kickstart firepower. Firepower is essential, but grenade kickstart is, if you're going to go for the DPS version, of this for those little whirlwinds, you want to run heavy-handed and not grenade kickstart. You're not going to be without your grenades very often. So I think basically running that, you can put resistance on, but once again, if you are going to go for your full damage potential of those whirlwinds, you want to have 3 stacks of charged up. That's going to give you up to 6 armor charges. So that's massively important if you want to maximize your damage there. Recuperation and innovation, I always have those on. So health, and then obviously grenades on orb pickup. You've got stacks on stacks. Once again, picking up an orb of power generates 2 armor charges instead of 1. Massively important. You can run Strand Weapon Surge if you want instead, if you're not going for that DPS, or even an Arc Weapon Surge, so you get from your exotic grenade launcher as well. And then onto your cloak, I've got Bomber, dodging their enemies reduces your grenade cooldown. Time dilation, this is to stop or make sure your decaying armor charges last longer. So it's important if you're going to be going down that path. If you don't want to go for the extra damage, I would just run Reaper. And then the other one's Powerful Attraction. So dodging, massive in a really sticky situation when you've got orbs nearby. You can dodge and it kind of, you get that little health bump and then grenade bump as well. So definitely something to keep yourself alive. Exteris is the exotic grenade launcher from the season. The reason I'm running this is when you pair it with the Mothman Grasps, it fires 2 moths. One's going to be Void and one's going to be Arc. So you've got the potential to blind, but then you've also got the potential to be amplified when you get a kill with it. So a Strand Hunter that's amplified, and then you've also got that healing potential as well for you and your allies. Now I'm running any sort of an arc, any sort of a strand weapon. I'm currently running Mikhail's Reverence, and it's got hatchlings on it. You run Rufus. You've got the Immortal. You've got plenty of different strand weapons that you can use, scouts and stuff as well. So run something there, and pretty well any heavy, but I am running the strand one from the raid as well. Now you'll see here, I've got this video here and here so you can see how it helps me to take down champions. So basically I can throw your Moth out, get rid of those, and then boom, you can see the little whirlwind sitting there on that champion, and it's just helping me to DPS him and take it down. So this is the 1840 Lost Sector. So I'm definitely underpowered. Now I've also got this here to show you the healing capabilities of those Void Moths as well. So basically you can blind those enemies, but when you're nearly dead and you throw these moths onto the ground, you can see I got a little bit of a health kick there. It really you underestimate how much these things can help you. It really does sort of give you a nice big chunk of health, and you'll see here when towards the end of this video, I actually survive and I've got hardly any health at all, and the moths really saved my bacon. But you can see once again the strand helping me to take down these champions. Little whirlwind sort of sitting there doing damage and keeping the damage on the champion. It's huge, but you'll see here is what I'm talking about. I'm almost dead and I do 2 grenades. First one here heals me a little bit when I go to do it. So I get a little bit of a heal there, kill some more enemies, and I'm almost dead again. And I go back and recover, and these little moths, look at that full health back, boom. So you get that full overshield and health helps out, and I probably picked up an orb as well that sort of helped as well. So, but that's the build. Hopefully it helps you guys out. If you like it, make sure you smash a like and follow, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay groovy, stay safe. As always, deuces. Appreciate you. GG's.